Okay, so we just finished part B, which says that the pink one has larger surface area overall. They didn't ask us to really calculate it, they just asked us to compare. If you wanted to actually calculate the surface area, you'd have to do pi times radius squared to get your areas of your circles. And remember that there's 2 of them for each cylinder, and then you'd have to add it to your previous answer from part A of the lateral surface area. So what I've done is I've highlighted some important details that they told me in the problem. They told me that I have a cylinder. Draw a quick cylinder just to have a picture. They told me that the lateral surface area is 184 square centimeters. So that means if I was to take, remember that rectangular bit, the area of that is 184 centimeters squared. They also told me that the radius is 9. And I want to find the total surface area of the cylinder. So I've already been given the yellow bit. I'm just missing the pink circle at the bottom and the pink circle at the top. To do that, all I need to know is the area of a circle. My area of a circle is pi times radius squared. My radius is given as 9, so it's going to be pi times 9 squared, or 81 pi. And then since there's 2 of them, I'm going to double that. Okay, so it looks like it's 162 pi. So my final answer for I'm going to do total surface area, TSA, is equal to 184. I'm going to write it like this, plus 162 pi centimeters squared. Or if you would like to do it with a decimal form, 162 times second, pi button's over here where the arrow is on the side. So that's 162 plus pi, or times pi, plus 184. Looks like it's 692.94 centimeters squared. Okay. What's interesting is that in this problem, they actually didn't give you the height, but we didn't actually need that in order to solve for the total surface area. An easy working backwards follow-up question could be for me to ask you to solve for the height. And for that, you would have to use the fact that you had the area of this rectangle, and you could have done like your length times width, right? Your one length would have been 2 times pi times radius of 9, and you would be looking for your height. So that could be an easy follow-up question that I might ask. Number 4 asks us to find the total surface area. Now this isn't a cylinder, this is one of our shapes from yesterday. I'm seeing hexagon, so I'm going to put hexagonal. And then I have to decide, is it a prism or a pyramid? Remember, think of like the pyramids in Egypt, they always end in a point. This does not have like a point at the top, so I'm going to say hexagonal prism. Remember, for your prisms, they always have those 2 bases. And the shape is created by kind of stacking them. If I was to kind of visualize what the back would look like here's kind of like the 3D shape of it. Notice that you would have a hexagon in the back as well, and the shape is made by stacking them. Now, if we want the total surface area, this is a regular hexagon, so all my sides are equal, right? So I'm going to have a bunch of rectangles. Those rectangles, there are 6 of them. And then I'm going to have 2 of my hexagons. And I'm going to have to find the area of all of those and put them together. Now I'm looking at the information they told me. They told me that this part here, I'll just put 6 rectangles so it's clear that it's on a side lane. They told me that this side is 5, right? It's 5 long. And we also know the fact, I'm going to switch colors just to have a different color to mark, that this is 2. That means all of your sides around are 2. So we could then infer that that's 2. So my area of my rectangle is going to be 5 times 2, or 10. And then since there's 6 of them, I'm going to do times 6 and have 60 feet squared. Okay, and that's because since it's a hexagon, when you do all of your rectangles kind of going around, so I'll kind of draw some of them, and like here's one rectangle, here's another, right? They form off of each side. Those rectangles are all the same size because the hexagon has all equal sides to begin with. Let's see, my hexagon, I have that this side is 2. Remember, if we want the area of a polygon, we've got to kind of cut it into triangles. Think of it like pizza slices. And we first find the area of one singular triangle. So let's find the area of this triangle that I'm going to make blue over here. So let's see, this whole base is 2. If I draw in the height, because my area of my triangle is base times height divided by 2, it's a 90-degree angle. Now this triangle has all equal sides. If I look back at the picture, that means it's equilateral, so my angles are 60, which means if I cut this angle up top, it's going to become 30. We've got our 30, 60, and 90. Notice the teeny base here is 1, which means if I do the times root 3 trick, it's going to be 1 root 3 is my height. So to find my area of my blue triangle here, my big whole base is 2. My height is 1 root 3. I'm going to divide by 2. That's going to give us 2 root 3 over 2. And then you can cancel out the 2's and just call it a root 3. Now there are 6 triangles that make up this hexagon. So I'm going to say that the area of my hexagon is equal to root 3 times 6, which I'm going to put that in front like a coefficient and call it 6 root 3. Because there are 2 hexagons, I'm going to say, okay, I need to double it because there's 2 of them. So it's going to be 2 times 6 root 3, or 12 root 3. So that's the one part I need. The other part I need is the 60 feet squared. I should put feet squared here as well. So my total surface area, kind of put it in the middle, is going to be 60 plus 12 root 3 feet squared. And I'm going to write it like that. If you would like the decimal answer, I'm going to do 60 plus, in parentheses to make sure that happens first, 12 times the square root of 3. And it comes out to be about 80.78. Okay, so that is our final answer. This one is a little bit more cumbersome. I would say that this one's probably like a mixed level. Right, and I wanted to throw it in there just to remind you guys that even though today our lesson is on area of cylinders, we still need to feel good on prisms. We still need to be good on finding the area of surface area of a pyramid. Okay, we've got like 2 more going. This next one is the surface area of a cube, which remember a cube is like a square prism. So this one is also different, right? It's not a cylinder. We're reviewing an older idea from the previous couple days. Now all of these squares are equal. So 6 squares, when you put all the area together, you get 24. If you divide by 6, that means the area of 1 square is equal to 4 centimeters squared. And if it's a square and your area is 4, you want the same thing times itself. So x times x equals 4, or x squared equals 4. And that's saying, okay, what times itself is 4? You could conclude that each side is 2 centimeters. Okay, so this is kind of, I would say it's like a going backwards problem. And it's more of like a mixed level from our previous topic yesterday. Last problem is another surface area of a prism, right? So these like 3 or so, like starting with 4 and going on, this is like yesterday. Reviewing yesterday's big idea just to make sure we're still feeling good on it. So this one they told you that the surface area is 102. Now let's think about what that would encompass. That would encompass your sides, which are 4.5 by 3. If I want the area, I'm going to do 4.5 times 3, which is 13.5. Then there's 2 of them, so I have to double that. That's 27 centimeters squared. And then this comes to the part where we're a little stuck. We have the top. And if I look at my top slash bottom, it's a little bit more vertical. Actually, I'm going to adjust that. It's 4.5 along. Notice that's because the 4.5 is the same length here and here. The other side is actually our x, so we don't know that. We know that the area would be 4.5 times x. Since there's 2 of them, we would do 2 times 4.5x, which is 9x's. And then the last side, we would be doing our front and our back, right? So our front is x long and 3 tall. So area is 3 times x. We would double it then to get 6x. And this one I would say is a mixed level problem. It's kind of a going backwards problem. Now if I know the total, I know that the 27 plus 9x's plus 6x's is supposed to equal 102. And I can put my like terms together. That's 15x's plus 27 is equal to 102. Solving for x, I'm going to do minus 27, and 15x is equal to 102 minus 27, which comes out to 75. And that's a nice number because I can see it's divisible by 5 because it ends in a 5. Okay, and that's going to be 5. And x is a length, so I'm going to put centimeters. It's that many centimeters long. So that is the last problem for today's notes. So today's notes, your big takeaway that you should know now is I can find the surface area of a cylinder and find a missing dimension of a cylinder if I give you like an area you could backtrack using your going backwards technique. Also notice that with today, you also were being reminded that you are still responsible to know how to find the surface area of a prism and a pyramid. Okay, that's it for today. Tonight's homework is your homework number 3. Okay, so you should get some good practice on cylinders. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.